Oh, very torn on this one, Meat. Is Darren Till finally going to rediscover that sauce and come back ready, willing to finally get another beautiful finish over Dricus Du Plessis, or is he just trotting out to his own death and Dricus Du Plessis is going to get another statement finish? Can we get your thoughts on this one? Dricus Du Plessis, I mean, what can you say about the guy? The guy is 3-0 in the UFC, keeps picking up win after win. His first two contests, he was able to win by finish. He smoked Marcus Perez, not even close. Easy work, first round finish, and then did the same thing to Trevin Giles in a performance of the night. And most recently, he won a tough decision over Brad Tavares, and it was one that was a pretty close fight. I thought Brad Tavares fought a good fight, but ultimately Dricus was able to steal rounds and do just enough to win that unanimous decision. And he's taking on Darren Till in this one, who we know, he came into the UFC with such storm, right? I mean, he got that nice finish over Wendell Day Oliveira, had that draw versus Nicholas Dalby, but then it was four straight beautiful finishes, topped off, or four straight beautiful wins, topped off with a nice hometown victory over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And that was a fight, admittedly, that was very close. You wonder if that fight was not in Till's backyard, would the judges' verdicts have been the exact same? But nonetheless, it was a pretty much all stand-up victory for Darren Till. And based on what we just saw from Wonderboy 2 days ago against Kevin Holland, that's a pretty impressive win. It's you got to give Till his credit for even keeping that fight close enough for where the judges could give him the victory. But since then, he's lost 4 or 5, right? Lost to Tyron Woodley, lost to Jorge Masvidal, won a split decision against Kelvin Gastelum, and you and I were at that fight at MSG, and I remember watching it and not really have an idea as to who won that fight. But nonetheless, Darren emerged with a split decision and then two straight bad losses after that. Robert Whitaker absolutely demolished him for 5 straight rounds. And then Derek Brunson just submitted him with ease. And that was concerning because Darren Till he didn't look like he was in his best shape. He didn't look as motivated. I mean, there's that almost iconic photo by now of him just sitting on the ground after getting submitted by Derek Brunson and looking dejected, looking defeated, looking far from being a top UFC fighter, which he was there for a little bit. So, what are your thoughts on this one? Dricus has gotten rocked a couple times throughout his UFC career, but the dude is gritty and the dude always finds ways to win fights despite being in some trouble. Do you think Dricus finds another way to win this contest, or is this the matchup Darren Till needs, and this is when the return of Darren Till emerges? Any chance of that or no?
Yeah, this is a fun matchup, and man, UFC is not going easy on Darren Till for a comeback because Dricus is he's an absolute savage. Sure, he's not the most technical sound fighter, he's not the best striker, he's not the best grappler, but he's a savage and he brings it the whole time. He throws meat bombs, he's got haymakers, he is strong lad. It's crazy that he's 28 and Darren's 29. I feel like Darren is like 40 at this point. It feels like he's been in the UFC for so long. He's fought for championships. He's fought peak Wonderboy and beat him somehow, even though a lot of people think Wonderboy won. But I just feel like ever since he got knocked out by Masvidal, he's changed. Like it's just not the same Darren anymore. Um, Darren used to be chiseled and ripped and motivated. Now he looks like he's been hanging out with Bryce Mitchell, sitting on the couch eating peanut butter cookies all day, and his body is showing that to us. So whenever I see a physique like that, if it's always been consistent, that's one thing. Kind of like Bam Bam, from the other weekend. Hey, that's always how he's been. But Darren Till used to be absolutely chiseled, just like Dricus, but then it just went away, meaning the motivation's not there. So I just can't go with him. I got to take Dricus in this. I think Dricus is going to put on the pressure, throw a bunch of meat bombs, and maybe Darren clips him, but Dricus is tough as heck. As we've seen, he can eat some and give a bunch more back. And Darren's gas tank is absolutely terrible. Clearly shows by his physique too. He's clearly not doing enough. Whatever it is, whatever excuses, I don't care. I don't know. That's his issue, and he's got to get it figured out. But at weigh-ins, if he comes in chiseled, I might change my mind that maybe this is a new Darren. He's training with Hamza. He's chiseled. He's shredded. He's been doing cardio. He's jacked. He's strong. He's been working out. But if he comes in with, peanut butter, couch eating, finger licking Cheeto Darren like he has the last two times, I gotta go with Dricus. Dricus is just gonna beat him purely by being in the better shape and mental. He's on an upward trajectory, while Darren's sadly on a downward. Probably ready for slap fight champions next year. But yeah, I gotta take Dricus first round, second round knockout.
Yeah, I feel you on that for sure. And it's interesting because they are going to be coming as a pretty similar size, right? Dricus Du Plessis, 6'1", 76-inch reach. Darren Till, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. So they should be sized pretty comparably. And it's tough, though, because Darren Till, right, he was fighting at 170 for so long. And you always wondered, how the heck does he even make 170? Somehow he would get down there. And at 170, he was big. He was long for the division. And he seemingly had a strength advantage there. So I kind of feel like he's one of those like Kevin Lee types where if there was a 180-pound division, perhaps Darren Till could really get in peak shape, but he's too big to keep cutting down to 170. And to your point, at 185, his physique does change, right? It seems as though, because there's such less work going into that cut, Darren Till hasn't really been able to figure out the whether it's the nutrition or the whatever it is to pack on a solid 185 as opposed to a not so solid. I mean, if you look at Dricus Du Plessis, this is a guy who is coming in absolutely shredded. He's got abs on top of abs, and he's definitely in better physical form than Darren Till. But I mean, this isn't a beauty contest meet, and if we're going skill for skill, do you think that Dricus Du Plessis has the chops necessary to outlast Darren Till for as long as this fight remains on the feet, or do you anticipate this fight hitting the mat? Because we've seen Darren Till, most of his recent struggles have occurred when guys took him down. So we know Dricus still knocks Du Plessis as more of a striker, but do you see this fight hitting the mat at all?
Hey, if Dricus is smart, he will take it to the mat because that's an absolute lock. He's got his protege that was in the Contender Series. Dude's an absolute savage grappler, but also great striker. He was a big underdog, won that fight. And Dricus has got really good grappling that just nobody's seen. If you look at all the footage, social media, YouTube, and do some deep dives, you'll see he's a no joke grappler. But I think Dricus is a fighter for the fans. I think he likes to get out there. I mean, as we've seen, he's chaos. He's literally keeps his chin high and just throws meat bombs. He goes, "Hey, if you can hit it, you can take me out. But guess what? I'm gonna hit you first." And that's what people get excited about with him. So I think he's gonna keep that consistent. I would be surprised. It would be smart of him, but I'd be surprised if he takes it to the ground. But I just think he's going to do a crazy barrage of punches, maybe get knocked out by that sharp left, because that's really all Darren has. He's kind of the one-trick pony. He has a sharp left. He doesn't throw kicks at all. He doesn't do anything else. He's kind of a one-trick pony at this point, and people kind of realize that. I don't want to see he's Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor mixes it up more, but Conor's known for that left, and people say that's all he's got. He's got a little more, but Darren literally has only just that left. And I think Dricus is a smart guy. He's young, up and coming, great. Great upward trajectory on this win streak. The confidence is all-time high. This is his era, his time, and South Africa is here to take over, and so I think a knockout is going to happen first or second round.
Yeah, you could be all over it. We will have to see for sure. But if we look over at Tapology, they're kind of agreeing with you, right? 68% is rolling with still knocks. Most of it is Brown. They like that KO, TKO. And of the 32% that's riding with the Gorilla Darren Till, majority is beige. I think that decision is most likely. I am curious, though, if Du Plessis will mix in some groundwork in this one because, again, he's got 7 knockouts on his record. He's got only 1 decision, but he's got 9 victories via submission. So that might be an interesting little nugget to inspect the Dricus sub. Maybe he's able to get the fight in a spot that Darren Till prefers it not to be and maybe capitalizes there because we have seen Darren Till succumb to submissions in the UFC as well, right? Derek Brunson, as mentioned, and then Tyron Woodley submitted him with that Bravo choke for the title shot back in the day in 2018. So maybe that's sharp. Nonetheless, though, man, I've been going back and forth. It's tough to pick against Du Plessis. The guy keeps winning fight after fight, and it's tough to pick Darren Till. I mean, the guy has lost 4 on 5, but in this one, I'm buying the hype. I think Darren Till is back. I think that he's coming in. This is the exact opponent he needs. Someone who has a little bit of hype, but someone who will come and bang. Like you said, he's there to put on a show similar to Kevin Holland. And I think when he starts going blow for blow with Darren Till, I anticipate Darren Till clipping him with that left that you touched on. And I don't think Dricus is going to be able to recover from it. So might be an absolute YOLO stretch. Might just be, I'm holding on to the memories of old. I want Darren Till to showcase that all this hard work he's supposedly been putting in with Hamza is finally ready to materialize. He's finally ready to get back on track. Dricus Du Plessis is just that opponent he needs. But I don't know, Meat. I'm going to ask you this question. I ask you it all the time, and you got to be honest with me. Am I tripping?
Honestly, I think you're tripping on this one. I think Darren is donezo. I, I will retract that statement if he looks in stupendous shape or even somewhat good shape. But if he's rocking Cheeto Bandito, Ferrito Cheeto bod on the couch with Bryce Mitchell, I don't know. I just don't see it. Dricus is training hard, grinding, while Darren's over there, I don't know, doing Darren, just trying to get a little shine off of Hamzat's hype. Darren's been just pulling out injury after, who knows if they're even real. I'm just assuming they are real. And if they are real, that's not good. Meaning he's had a lot of injuries the last couple of years and been very inactive. And that's usually not a good sign for a comeback when this guy's been very active and on a great, just momentum. Momentum's a big thing, even if this, on paper, Darren has had tougher fights. He should have the better skill, more knowledge, IQ, everything. But momentum, mental game, this sport is a lot of mental. And when you're kind of weak there and you're on the downfall, I don't know. And that's kind of where I see Darren Till. I hope I'm wrong because it'd be sick to see, the gorilla back, but I got to take Du Plessis.
Points well taken for sure. Let us know down below, Meat Boys, who you are rolling with. Meat is rolling with Dricus Du Plessis. Your boy's going with Darren Till, but let us know down below. Is this easy work for Still Knocks, or are these Till locks? Let us know.
I love Cheetos.